the players we have here ready to go in the teams. It's going to be, again, Anarchy, Doomslayer as well on the team with Sorlag as well. So a lot of Doomslayer we're seeing in Sacrifice already. I think it's the sort of the speed burst, I suppose, the instant burst of speed you get from that Berserk mode really sort of proving strong. But on the side of Modus, it's going to be the same team composition we saw beforehand. No reason to change it, I suppose. Not surprised whatsoever. But I honestly think the surprising thing I found today is how often we've seen people go with Doomslayer. Because it used to be Ranger, and I know originally he was actually designed so a Doomslayer and Ranger would kind of go hand in hand, where they were very similar. You know, you kind of look at, I know, you know, champions, every champion in the game can play Quake. You know, they can all play Quake, but on something like Sacrifice, they'll have a little bit of a job to do or a reason you would pick them. And even though Ranger and Doomslayer, they're kind of like two peas in a pod. You'd pick them for the same thing, but there might be like one little variable that makes you go with one over the other. It's just somehow today in Sacrifice, Doomslayer has been that prime pick. His stats are great, his hitbox is great, his mobility is great, and his Berserk gives him a lot of options to just, you know, get out of there if he needs to. And in a game mode like this, where you need to get the soul and run it as fast as possible, it's almost like a scale bearer. It's a very similar role where, you know, it's not for getting kills, it's to maneuver quicker than the rest of the
But that's not what you'd have initially assumed Doomslayer would use his Berserk for, right? Even though, like, you know, it's really bigged up to be this, you know, you go into Berserk mode, your screen goes red, he gets his fists out, and it's ready to, you know, give him the old 1-2.
He can still do that.
He can still do that.
But he's also very fast.
But it is the speed boost. In a game mode like this, that is the utility, right, that you will pick it for. And it works. And he's got the double jump, so he can dodge rockets a lot easier. It's harder to hit him in the 1v1s, because obviously, you know, does he double jump, does he not? Where does he move? It's a lot harder to deal with some of the time. And I think that alone has made him a nice pick for the mode so far.
So our final series of the day, the qualification
Totem Teles, of
oh,
course.
the return. Absolutely. I'm happy to see these guys again. They were playing at QuakeCon. And they had a good, actually they had a good showing there. You know, they've played in that competitive environment.
There are no Teles to Totem on this map.
That's a good point. There is actually one Totem.
And
or Tele.
There is one Tele, and it's somewhere that Galena cannot go.
Yeah.
Probably very unlikely to be. But all that aside, they have gone for that tried and true composition. It's going to be the Doomslayer, Nyx, Anarchy, and Sorlag on the side of Totem Teles. And Modus Operandi is going to go for that Slash, Anarchy, Nyx, and Sorlag. That 2Z lineup.
It's been quite a chaotic beginning. But the lead is going to go for Modus. In 2 seconds, we're going to have the power-up spawning. You already see Nyx going in there, and it's going to be quad. I think if any one of those champions was going to get quad, it had to be like CCAP, because he's now got plenty of health and the super shotgun to make a difference. Issue up there. Nice positioning by Griffin. Perfect execution of what Nyx can do. Getting into the side
by Griffin, as he has turned to putty thanks to the super shotgun quad damage into the reset for the soul too. But Modus, are they ready to pick it up this time as well?
Oh, but no. It's going to be it's very weak. Yeah, can't really survive that one. Only with 30 health. Quad's still up, but it has just disappeared. About to say, it's been up for quite a while.
Right, though, this is good for Modus. They didn't have 100% of the quad damage, but they definitely had enough to get a nice lead going. Pushing that 20% marker. It's not the biggest lead we've seen before, but definitely enough. But Kane, they get that quick rail off the telly.
I love seeing a point-blank rail like that. I mean, it's so risky. If you mess it up, you're dead, but it's just the confidence.
And the soul isn't quite there, though. So Modus is still going to try and bring it back. Nice kill coming out of Griffin. Going to drop it off again.
Yeah, Kane was
another kill.
Unable to get a point-blank rail 2 times in a row, and he will pay for his life with that one.
And we're just going back to this tried and true frag after frag, but the whole time Modus have been building up that percentage. It's going to get harder for Totem Teles.
That's the issue. If you're able to be a complete nuisance and harass a point, it doesn't actually matter how long you're at the point, unless you can get a capture. Because this whole time, the percentage has just been climbing. Yes, they've got the soul now. They're going to get taken out, but it's 38-0.
Still though, I mean, a big difference here, like when you watch duels, it seems like players have all the weapons they could ever need all the time. But there is such more of a demand for constant weapon pickups in Sacrifice. I mean, look at the sort of case in point, bot mode. All he has is a rocket here. He has a rocket and a normal machine gun. You rarely see a player with every weapon they need, because you just don't have time to cycle around a lot of the time. He's got that frag on Yenum. It's all about how you use that weapon that you might have just one of. Here comes the power up. 5 seconds away indeed.
No one's piling into it. I think people are a little bit reluctant at this stage. Trying to secure. Oh, it's going to be the protection.
Still though, CCAP protection with Sorlag, always good. Also standard shotgun too, so deceiving amount of damage. Soul very much still in transit. Looks like Modus, maybe they're trying to hide now. Yeah, it is indeed.
Oh, yeah,
Same,
sure.
just trying to wait out that protection. That seems to be a go-to strategy. If the enemy team has protection, to just sit there and wait.
CCAP is just about to find him. They found him at the last minute,
and then he threw it off. Well, his mission there was not to survive. His mission was to make sure they don't have the soul.
Waste protection, right? If it's so hard to kill the guy with protection, don't try and kill them. Just stall as much time as possible so they A, can't find you, and B, can't get anything.
Oh, that was
beautiful. That was such a good shot. So he's quite low here. Does he still go anyway? Yes, he does. Oh, he's going to be weak after that one. We can see very little health and armor left. He's taking damage. But still 50% lead, yeah, 50 to 0, 14 I should say. Totem Teles were able to have a brief capture beforehand, but not quite as much. Qualifier with a nice double kill, but is going to drop the C-cap.
Just see a Berserk get activated. Here comes the speed boost. Is he going to get something significant of this?
Oh, but he's dropping down very weak as Sane. C-cap is going to get that nice quick gauntlet kill, but in comes Slash. Unfortunately, C-cap's going to commit suicide. Didn't quite have the health to survive that one.
Yeah, might have intended taking people out with him there, but unfortunately didn't quite get it. But as we said earlier on, where if you're able to harass but not take the soul, the whole time, the percentage is climbing. They've got 70% now versus 14. You would think it's gone back and forth because of how much combat is taking place, but really, no, it's the opposite.
Oh, wow. Interesting trade. Actually, looks like they both flew equally as far away. That rocket launcher trade at point blank. So much damage coming through, especially against the similar champion. Still though, this is looking okay for Totem Teles and trying to get through, but Modus always have people up top here ready to defend. Unfortunately, Qualifier is going to be able to take out bot mode, stop them dead in their tracks.
He did a good job. Bot mode did a good job of being unpredictable in that exchange, but he actually wasn't really able to land any rockets and get damage.
Still though,
for his movement.
Quad damage went to Modus again, even though bot mode 0 take him out. 5% left, tries to pick it up, but Griffin doesn't let him. So do you go for the quad or do you go for the soul at this point? There's like 2% left in. Modus, they have both.
I mean, I'm not sure. It's not really going to be their choice to make, because if they take him out now, they've got 1%. They can't allow Modus to get the soul a single time.
The C-cap, he has hold on to the soul. Oh, nice shot on that rail, but Inim's going to stop him dead in his tracks before he can move much further. And Griffin, a nice sequence of frags.
And he's got a ton of stack and the quad damage.
Looks like the soul was dropped off at the very least. The quad's about to run off. Griffin may have just assumed he had the soul in that situation. He did just kill the carrier. Still though, the quad has ran out, but a nice amount of frags. Totem Teles cannot let them get anywhere near that obelisk anymore. Obelisk is the last place they want him to
Oh, the LG just gave him a boost of speed. Actually did him a favor.
They have to get in right now. They have no time. They have to get in this point immediately.
I don't think they have time. I don't think they have any time. If they get this one frag and they don't even need it, they've been able to secure that one. Actually about 5.5 minutes. Not the hugest amount of time, but enough. That was a good round for them.
It's definitely enough for them to take that strong lead. Modus Operandi, one round up in this final series of the day. One more round, they'll take a map, and then they'll be that much closer to qualifying. We've already had 3 teams qualify. There's only 1 spot left. And so far, Modus looking good to take it. Totem Teles just struggled to really build any momentum in that game.
But in the small amount of time, you know, the Quake champions have been highly competitive. And actually, that was a bit of a weird exchange. Sane with the double gauntlet.
Went in point blank, you know, just no messing around, immediately in.
But in the small amount of time that Quake champions have sort of had like a competitive like push behind it, because the game is very new, teams that have stuck together have had the chance to really, I think, experience the tournament setting. You know, the setting that can really put a lot of pressure on you as a player and it can make you challenge decisions. Totem Teles, they've been there before, you know, so I definitely wouldn't count these guys out.
And there we go, able to go hold of Obelisk A again immediately. Modus with the best possible start. 10 seconds away from that first power-up too. Now here's the decision. Did they go straight for the power-up as a whole? We've seen people do over and over again. Sane actually tried to dedicate a bit too hard to the gauntlet there. You say a rocket to the face for his trouble.
The quad. Oh, he got it. Can he get the mega? No, Sane says otherwise, and with 1 HP left, he gets the injection. That was a clutch use of the ability right there.
But Totem Teles, they put everything into trying to get that power up, and they weren't able to hold on to it. So the whole time, Modus were holding on to the soul, which they now have 25%. Quarter of the job done already, but here we go. C-cap coming in with this quad damage. He is swinging very hard, has the soul. Can he get out safely? Yes, he can.
He had his teammate to follow as well. Quad damage, even if it runs out shortly, he did a good job of just being able to bring the soul away. But this is half the work. They've got to get it back, and look at how many members of Modus are there waiting.
Good. Dies immediately though. Isn't able to control the soul at least, but bot mode.
Oh no!
Waiting. Oh, hits the wall. Actually, might be enough time for him to get stopped. Oh, it is unfortunate how heavily movement mistakes can be punished. Oh no! I don't think he actually aims to go for the off map there, but it's going to go down anyway. Actually, no. Yenim was already there ready to pick it up. Perhaps he was planning to throw it off.
Well, delivered it anyway. I know the turnaround is quite fast on Barrel Chamber, where it goes from out of bounds to respawning, so there's the potential that Yenim was right there ready to pick it up.
Team comms, letting the guys know, hey guys, I've thrown it off. You're gonna have to go back to the middle. Be ready for it.
A lot of damage coming through this time though. Modus, even though that was such, they basically they didn't have the soul for like a good 20-30 seconds. Totem Teles were unable to get a single percentage at any point in that time, unfortunately.
Just 50%. But once more versus the 0.
Look at their health. Modus, like 3 of the 4 of them have nothing, and they are going to get taken down immediately. Now here we go. This is a good opportunity for Totem Teles. They're going to take the soul away for free, but how can they get it back? We know all of Modus would have respawned by now.
Bot mode having this soul is actually quite risky. He has not got much health. He needs to make sure he can zip, but he just isn't able to do it. Griffin picks him up. Oh, no berserk kill, but still right in your face. 3 seconds away, we can have that power up.
Yes, so he's able to get it through. It means that there's going to be 3 versus 4 at the power up, but still the quad damage.
Quad damage.
Modus again. Yeah, it's going to be Clamp. Okay, has it. Oh no, misses some of the shots. Important shots, no less. But Yenem is able to salvage it, pick up the quad damage before Totem Teles are able to get it themselves.
It doesn't matter too much they lost it because they've still been able to salvage what was left. And with this much of an advantage, they just need to keep that quad. Don't give it up. Oh! I wonder if they can get the trade.
Bot mode died immediately.
Quad damage plasma trail. I mean, that's dangerous.
We've said it a lot. You become public enemy #1 when you have that quad damage. The whole time Modus have been picking up that percentage, and still now, Totem Teles are still unable to get a single percentage on the board.
I like Griffin's positioning there, actually, just to sort of stand outside. Use some of that quad damage. If there's a little bit left, just stand outside. If they're going to come in, you may as well use up some of it just to get some early frags. And it's done a good job. They've got basically 10% left, and they're going to win this first map. And with this being the qualification series, I mean, every round is insanely important. Looking good for it so far, 5% left. Totem Teles are having a difficult time fighting back for this. They're just trickling in one at a time, and the longer the respawns take, he just has to pile in, but even bot mode can't save it. That is likely to be 100% versus 0. And will it be so? Yes! 100 versus 0 at a 4-minute round. That is how you make a mark in that first map.
That was a perfect win. A perfect finish to that game, 100% to 0. We've seen, not the first time we've seen that today, but whenever we do, it sets a bit of a precedent for the next match.
It sends a message, is what it does.
Modus are going into the next map with supreme confidence after that. They're going to know, right, we didn't drop a single percentage. There was a lot of time in that map where they actually didn't have the soul. It was in transit, or it was being picked up by one of the enemy team, and one of Totem Teles had it. But the fact is, whenever they lost it, they were able to bring it back immediately. They had even if they didn't start with the power-up, they would always end up with the power-up. They just controlled the map in such a good way that they're bringing that momentum and the confidence with them into map 2, which is going to be Ruins of Sarnath.
So I think the ability to just handle fights really well, Griffin and Clamp both had essentially double the kills as anyone else on the Totem Teles team. So they had around sort of like 31, 32, and the guys on Totem Teles kind of averaged at about 15. That's a lot of frags to give up. And most of those frags went at really pivotal moments, like at the power-up or at the soul location, where they can't really afford to lose them. But if you've just got an ability to if you have good fraggers on your team, it makes a huge difference. Not everyone on a Sacrifice team needs to be the most intelligent player. They don't need to be geniuses. They don't need to be a shot caller. But if they're good at just landing crucial rails, if they're good at just picking off champions and making sure that if someone's in their sights, they don't miss that shot, just to keep the team behind, that is also going to be an important element to have. And right now, Modus, they've got that on lockdown.
They do, but they are 2 rounds away maybe from being our final winners today. One more team to qualify, and it could be them. I mean, they did fall to Team Liquid in the winners bracket, so they won't be too happy about that, but this is their final chance. If they make one more mistake, they will be eliminated, but they're looking really good so far. That was a dominant win. The first round was... They still won that round, but it wasn't quite as one-sided. But the second round, I suppose, was complete opposite. They just looked really good from start to finish. And now we're going into Ruins of Sarnath, which we actually haven't seen for a few sets now. We've seen a lot of Blood Covenant, a lot of Burial Chamber, even a bit of Tempest Shrine, which was really nice. But back to the Ruins, at least, for this month.
If Sane is able to qualify for both Duel and Sacrifice, it's going to be like... happy days.
That's the best, right?
He's going to be happy with that.
Because it means you're dedicating to both modes, and in both modes you're playing at a world-class level, or you're playing at that top level.
Well, he was actually one of the players that many people at QuakeCon said, hey, watch out for this guy. Some people were like, saying he's got a history in arena FPS, and he's playing really well, and he's on the North American side, was looking incredibly dominant, and people are like, look, you got to watch out for this guy. He's no joke. If he qualifies for DreamHack in both game modes, it's just going to kind of just confirm that, yes, this guy is a serious threat in Quake Champions.
Well, this is why.
Because
he's doing well in both modes still to this day, and a few seconds away from leaving our warm
10 seconds, in fact. We are very shortly going into Ruins of Sarnath to find out if Modus are going to be the team that move on to DreamHack Denver. If they qualify for Sacrifice, they're going to be happy. They did lose to Team Liquid in the winner's bracket, but there's no shame in that. I mean, a dangerous team without a shadow of a doubt, but this is their last chance for redemption and to make it into DreamHack.
Still though, 10 seconds away. Doesn't matter if you die too much beforehand, as long as you have the ability to try and contest that first soul, but Kane being forced away, it seems.
Yeah, if you're dead as the soul spawns, that's when you don't want to die.
Oh my god, what is happening? I don't know! Through! He's got the berserk, is he able to survive? All that Clamp OK is... I mean, that was just a battle royale. It's a free-for-all, and Clamp OK was the winner.
I mean, I saw Berserk, I saw Plasma Trail, I saw Gauntlet, I saw Shotgun, saw like
and there was
standing
everywhere.
tall. Oh yeah. And funny really how the one champion that doesn't get hurt by acid is the one that survived.
I mean, it's almost as if that's why you pick it. If the enemy team has a Sorlag of your own is a great way to not have to worry about that, but CCAP now has the quad. But it is Modus holding on to the totem right now.
Oh,
there we go. Yeah, the soul is still there.
Goodbye quad. Oh, goodbye quad again. Will we see it a third time?
Not quite sure. They're trying to get this back. There's 3 of them here. They have stolen it. They are here together as a team. Bot mode trying to get through. Okay, see if we get it on. There we go. There's the injection.
Oh, 1 damage as well. Nice.
Walked into acid.
Oh, looks like we've had someone leave the match, but I'm not sure. Like, some of the rules actually say if you have a drop during a match where the match has been changed, you may be unable during that round to actually make a difference, but we'll soon find out. But the drop did occur after the warm-up phase, so it may be too late.
I'm not sure. We'll see what the call is soon, but we'll go with it as we are currently in case we are having to continue. But we'll see what the ruling is very soon. But for now, we will continue and see what's going on, even though this is going to be 3 versus 4, which is clearly a huge problem for Modus. But still, Totem Teles, they now have pulled ahead.
If they don't have this lead, I mean, obviously we'll update you guys as we go, but for now, I mean, they're continuing to play, which makes me assume that it is likely that because the drop happened after the warm-up, there may be nothing we can do. But 3 versus 4, this just got a little bit more difficult for Modus. They took 2 straight rounds in the first map, though, so if it does come to them losing this first round because of it, the 2 straight isn't going to be impossible.
I mean, it is unfortunate, but, you know, rules are rules. They are there for a reason. It is the spirit of fair play. And while you do feel bad for those affected, you have to continue with everyone in the game in mind, right? Everyone's playing with the same thing here.
But it has allowed Totem Teles to kind of just have that advantage, and now they're continuing to collect those frags.
Still, though, it's in transit, and it looks like Totem Teles is able to drop it off now. They are controlling B. Really good for that. Power will be up in 10 seconds, though. Have to see if they can control it in the same way.
Getting a nice amount of frags throughout this power application, so it's likely that Totem Teles will be able to control this rather easily.
Getting the power up as well as holding on to the soul. That is going to be huge for them just to continue this lead and keep it going, and they will get the kill on Griffin. Falls down. And the protection too, and it's protection on Slash. This is going to be very hard to deal with.
Well, a lot of time left on the protection. They're going to be able to drop this off effortlessly. Able to fight for it. Oh, sort of overshoots the jump just a little bit, so did waste a little bit of time, but
still has protection though. Going to be very hard to take it down. You know, Slash is, or as it is, quite hard enough to hit, let alone when he's taking that much reduced damage. Looks like Modus tried to go in. Just quite able to. Kane going to get that kill on Clamp OK.
oh, high damage.
And this is about as dominant as we expected it to be, considering the unfortunate connection drop. So I think it's fair to say that Totem Teles are probably going to be winning this one. We could only hope that Modus are able to get their player back in before the next round can start, or at least in that sort of situation, so they don't have to lose more than they already have.
It's always going to be quite unfortunate, but in a game like Quake, the champion advantage, I mean, it's going to make a huge difference if it's 3 versus 4. We give these guys a little bit of time to sort of assess what's been going on. At the very least, they can be able to sort of assess how these guys are approaching this map, how their champions tackling each route. This round is likely to be over quite quickly. Bot mode's making the trail back, collecting Mega along the way. I mean, he's going to be kind of difficult to stop with the stack he's sitting on.
See them waiting around though, trying to go through. Bot mode still holding onto the soul, but at the very least isn't able to bring it back yet. Insane is going to stop him dead in his tracks. Then get taken out. Sanis is there, popping that berserk, trying to get that speed increase, waiting for that teleporter, able to drop it off, even though he might die now, was at least able to drop it off first. Hang on though, he is not currently being targeted by anyone and only has 5 health.
Yeah, just in the nick of time.
He did a good job making himself as like very unattractive to go for in the situation. He was putting himself at funny angles, so he wasn't the one you initially want to go for. Though took some damage, but
yeah, he's Satan's going to completely ignore him.
Yeah, at this point you can't really afford to. You need to try and just get the soul back and put a stop to that percentage. they're doing a good job of right now. He's going to fall down. Griffin's going to get that frag.
Totem Teles having the quad. This is going to make life a bit difficult. We just need to get one drop. I mean, 3 versus 4 with the quad damage. That's going to be kind of difficult to deal with, I think.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's really not much they can do about it at this point. Just have to hope that Modus can get their player back in for the next round so they don't have to lose anything more. Still, though, I think this is fair to say this is going to be the end of round number 1. Quad damage is into play as well.
There we go.
It's going to be 1-0.
Now we'll see what happens here.
Well, we'll have to wait and see what the admin decision is soon. Looks like the players are looking for clarification as well. So we'll have to wait and see. But for now, it is going to be 1 round up to Totem Teles.
Now, it's likely we're going back in. So we're saying, yeah, finish the round. So the round is over. It's likely to be 1-0, but I'm assuming they're going to go back to the lobby and we'll play in that best of 3 setting regardless.
Right, so we're going back to the lobby now, looking to go back. We're going to have to wait and see what's going to happen here. I assume it's just going to be go back to the lobby, remake, try and get him back into the game, and we will start the next round with a 1-round advantage to Totem Teles. That's, I think, the assumption here, probably going to be the safe bet too. And that has happened before, right? Now, unfortunately, it's not the first time I've had a connection issue with
online gaming.
I mean, it is online gaming.
It does happen.
This stuff happens sometimes, and it can be internet drops. It can be, you know, maybe your router restarted itself. Maybe the cat accidentally pulled the plug out. It could be literally anything. But we are going to go back to the lobby, get the lobby remade, get all the players back in, and it will be Totem Teles most likely with that 1-round advantage. As it's not Totem Teles' problem. It's not Totem Teles' fault that obviously happened. It's not really against them, and they were the ones that were playing in the situation. So we're waiting for that admin decision. We'll find out soon.
Yeah, currently waiting on the admin decision, guys, so we'll inform you as soon as we know. But I mean, Ruins of Sarnath is essentially, it's a good map that we see on Sacrifice in particular, because funny enough, actually, on Duel as well, it's a map that sort of gives a lot of those fast, small, agile champions a lot of freedom. So when you see the players like Sane, for example, or players like Bot Mode that have dangerous anarchies and they're doing really well, and even a player like Waz, who we saw yesterday in the Duel, and his movement was impeccable, and so was his aim. You give him a map like this when he's got good aim and movement, and now there's more targets to shoot, he's quite dangerous, and I expect to see good things from him.
But that's one of the things I like about Ruins of Sarnath the most, though, is we actually do see a lot of creativity on this. Maybe not so much today. I know some of these team compositions have kind of been very set in stone. Teams are kind of like, they've favored their 4, and that's kind of been the majority of what they've gone with the exception being Maestro, where Garpy was kind of like swapping champion on every single map, because they clearly have their own strategies they want to use. But in Duel and Ruins of Sarnath, we see a lot of creativity. We see a lot of different champions potentially use. Galena's very popular here. Slash was popular, but before she became like core to the team, even Slash was getting picked on this map too. And
before she got the armor.
Indeed.
That was the change.
But still, she was good on this map, and I think that opens up for a lot of potential there. So that's really cool.
Let me just sort of move forward and see the bottom of my screen, and we'll stay up to date with the ruling, guys. And as soon as
fortunately, we can see the lobby on this monitor in front that you guys can't really see at the moment, but we can see what's happening on here. So we're going to keep an eye on it and see what's happening and see what's going on. But for now, we know that before the set started, it was a 1-map advantage to Modus Operandi, as they were able to take Burial Chamber very convincingly. And I assume it will be 1 round up on this next map for Totem Teles, and they will go in with a 1-round lead. But we're still waiting for the players.
Well, it means if you go into the map with a 1-round lead. If you go in and there's 1 map round against you, we just saw in Burial Chamber where Motus were able to quite dominantly take the 2 rounds straight, and the second round being 100% to 0%. So even though the situation would be unfortunate to be 1 round down,
it might not necessarily be unwinnable.
They've done it before. They've taken 2 straight rounds in dominant fashion. If the solution is to do it again, it's not going to be a tall order because they know they've done it already. The map will be different, which will play a big part. So there's always the chance that the teams, maybe Totem Teles are more comfortable on Ruins of Sarnath than they are in Burial Chamber. There's always the chance of that. But maybe Motus are also more comfortable on this map too. All these different variables you have to take into account, and it's definitely not the end of the world if it happens.
Well, it wasn't an immediate DC. We were able to see the 4v4 for a little while, and Motus were looking really good at the start as well. So I can't imagine it's not a map they're going to be. Still, too bad. Yes, we are back here. Wasn't sure if that was almost throwing back to the break, but we are, in fact, in the lobby looking into what we're doing. Okay, so we are, in fact, going to go to a break for a few minutes while we try and get the player back into the lobby. So please don't go anywhere, guys. This set will continue in just a few minutes' time.